Hi, welcome back. I hope you had a nice week and you're ready for another meeting. In this week's boardroom, our meeting will be dedicated to LinkedIn as an essential part of every business. So grab your tea or coffee, come in, sit down, and let's get this meeting started. And I now declare the meeting open. Today, we are talking about LinkedIn. For me, LinkedIn is an essential part of every business. Um, Even if you are not an entrepreneur, I think having a page on LinkedIn is very important, and having a good and updated page on your LinkedIn is very good. Uh, for example, LinkedIn is mainly a professional network, and therefore, that's where people get to know each other in a professional context rather than other networks where you can use for personal purposes. I don't think LinkedIn is appropriate for that, and therefore is where you will find or you will connect to people that it's obviously in the same page as yourself. So it's where you can meet your clients and also where they can find you. So it's very important for me. I think it's very important to have, um, a LinkedIn page updated with all the jobs that you have done. Because, for example, not only for us entrepreneurs, but for people that work for companies and, for example, maybe looking for another job, LinkedIn is a very good platform to be noticed and get a new job, get a new proposal from another company, or find a new very interesting opportunity to apply, and who knows, be very successful in changing a job. So it's not only for entrepreneurs or for people that really work as freelancers or have their own businesses and really need to communicate with their clients, but also for all other people that work for companies and are looking for other jobs, or even if they're not looking for another job, it's always good to have a LinkedIn page with all your information, professional information that is, and as a way of showing who you are professionally. Another thing, and this is for entrepreneurs, and for in this channel we talk about translation and translators, so I will cater for translators. Your LinkedIn page should be about your clients. It shouldn't be about you or translation. I made this mistake myself. I had my LinkedIn page talking about translation because I'm passionate about translation and I really like to connect with other colleagues and share ideas, etc. But that I don't think it's the right platform, and I learned that because we are always learning. I learned that through webinars and other professional development events that I attended, uh, that allowed me to understand what I was doing wrong, and that obviously the way I was going about LinkedIn was not the best way possible. So, if you have a LinkedIn page, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a translator, please do not do it about translation. Your clients are not interested about translation. They may be looking for a translator, but they really want to see your skills in translation. They really want to see how your skills could be a good match for their needs, not what translation skills you have, or what is your opinion about translation, and what lectures you may give about translation. So bear that in mind. Another thing that unfortunately is a very common mistake that I've seen not only on LinkedIn but in any other platform, and I've seen in many other platforms as well, is that sometimes we tend to be associated with groups or pages where other colleagues or where there are published blacklists of agencies or clients and things like that, or bad practices are spoken about. And some clients, or some translators rather, have a quite aggressive opinion, for example, about some agencies that may be bottom feeders or things like that. Well, we should be really careful about what we say on LinkedIn or in any other social media platform for that matter, because most of these groups or channels or pages, they are not private, they are public. And in the same way that you can see the comments of your colleagues or you can see the comments that you make, a possible client can also see it. And if you are making comments, quite aggressive comments, it may be seen as a deterrent for a client to contact you. Of course, you can always um, talk about these issues because they exist and they should be discussed. But I think it would be much better if we have a balanced approach to it, and if we obviously say that, oh well, that's not as good, but with a balanced approach and without being aggressive or going for the, sometimes things that we see, because that may end up being detrimental to our business and to ourselves as translators, because people may see us as someone that is quite aggressive or someone that has a very extreme position. That doesn't mean, however, that we do not fight for our rights, or we not fight for having a decent pay, or we don't fight for making our clients understand that we provide a very valuable service and we provide them value. That's not the case. We just have to do it in a more in a more balanced way, and without that aggressive approach that sometimes we see in some pages. So bear that in mind. Uh, LinkedIn is essential. Make sure you know what to put on your LinkedIn page, and please be aware of what you say and what comments you may be involved in, because that can also be viewed by your clients, and you may lose a good client because of a silly comment that you may make, and that may not go well with someone that was possibly thinking about hiring you. So bear that in mind. And that's all for today. I hope you really liked the meeting. I now declare the meeting closed. But I hope these ideas were helpful for you, and it gave you a little clue of how to use LinkedIn, really. But if you really have any questions or you would like me to talk about this in more detail, I'll be very happy to do so. Please leave a comment. Um, Leave me a like, why not? It's always good for the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe the channel. Click on the little bell so you get a notification of every meeting every week. And before I go, thank you so very much for watching. See you next week for another episode of The Boardroom. Bye.